Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about how you can use jobs to manage your projects and associate your purchase invoices to your jobs planning lines. So in some companies, like they're doing property management and the land development, and they can purchase multiple properties and they have multiple projects going on at the same time, and they want to manage the project budget versus the actual. Okay, so in Dynamics NAV or Dynamics 365 Business Central, you can use jobs to manage that. So in this scenario, I have a job I created. For example, I'm doing land development, and I'm developing the land for residential properties, and then I sell those properties. So to manage a project like that, and I may have a job setup, I have the job task lines, and also have the job for each job task lines. You can set up the job planning lines. So this is a job planning lines report, but you can go to this table to see like what you have set up. You can set up your budget and what items are budget, and then you can have your billable items against it. Okay. So for example, I purchase for this, you can think about this is not this is not a desk. This is some you purchase a land, and the land has a cost. You can assume this item is a land. Okay. So if I filter to this value, you could see in this job planning line for that job task, I have two lines associated to it. And one line is I set up my budget for purchasing this land, and then this is my cost. And then this is my unit price, which I sell to the end customers. So, and this line says billable. So the budget is what you set up for your own purpose to control the actual versus the budget. So it's not billable to the customers. And this billable, you can transfer the job planning line to the job journal, then post it to create a sales invoice from there. So that's for the billable. And then for this billable line, you could see I have the same item. Actually, the reason you see this document number is because I associated. I created a purchase order, then on the purchase line, I put in this item, and then I associate to this job number and this job task number, and put the job type as billable. Then after I post that purchase order, then this document number is the posted purchase invoice number. It will automatically populate to your job planning lines. Then you can compare after you create an invoice, you can compare the actual with the budget. Okay, that's how you can control it. So this is your budget, and this is the billable. And so let's say right now I consume 2 of my budget, and I may want to purchase another 6 pieces of land, and then I can create another planning line, which is also billable. Then I can create an invoice from there to the customer. So then I associate my purchase cost with my with the sales. So then you can compare the cost with you can calculate your margin by comparing your cost with the sales price. And also at the same time, you can control the actual with the budget. Okay, so that's how you manage your project in Dynamics NAV or Business Central. So now I know I want to use that item, so I'm gonna quickly create a purchase order to show you how that works. So I'm going to my purchase orders. You can just create a purchase invoice, but I used to create a purchase order. So clear this filter, and I'm gonna use create a new purchase order, and it doesn't matter the vendor, so I'm just gonna use this vendor. And then this is the test job task. Okay, and then I need to use the same item. So that item number is this, the one I showed you. So I'm gonna delete this first empty line, and then so I still have 6 remaining. So after you enter the quantity on the line, you have to make sure on the purchase line you have to choose column, right click the header and choose the column. Make sure you have these two, you make sure you have the job number, job task number, job line type, job unit price, job line amount. These fields show up on the purchase line, okay? So in order to associate to that job, I have to enter the same job number. So this is that job, and the task number, the job task line is this job task number, and then the job line type will be billable. So you can see the unit price and the unit line amount automatically populated. But you have to pay attention to the cost. So the cost automatically populated with the last direct cost, but on your job line, the budget, the unit cost, like originally was something different. Then, so let's go back to our job card and take a look. So on this job card, you could see if we go back to the job planning lines from here, and then we go to this item. So this is the, but we have to filter to this item, and so this is our budget, and the cost we have here is this. So if you don't pay attention, then on the purchase line, then you just use the last direct unit cost. So then it may not be consistent with what you set up for the budget unit cost. Okay, so you have to make sure then you use this unit cost. Then I just enter that. I have to update this direct unit cost to this. Then my cost will be correct. And then you can just go ahead to post, receive, and invoice this item. Okay, so let's say you already received this, and then it has a purchase invoice number, posted purchase invoice number 108085. Remember this number. If you go back to your job, then you will see, let's go back to our job, go to our job, let's go to our job planning lines, and then go to, just filter back to this item, which is the 101896, this one. Okay, just filter to this again. Now you could see we have a second billable line created for the quantity 6, and this cost is correct with my budget, same as my budget. But this one, if you don't correct it on the purchase line, then it will not be correct. And then after this, then you can so I can still change it here. I can still change it here on this job planning line for this, and then after you did this, this job planning line was automatic. Do you want to continue? Just say yes. Okay, so what you have to do is like you have to transfer this to an invoice to your customer. This is what you purchase from your vendor, but then you sell to the customer. Then you have to, so that's sell it. So this is 2, and this is the 6. So we have to create an invoice. We have to transfer this to the, so let's create a job journal, okay? So let's use this date, create a job journal, and then create this job journal, okay? You can create an invoice from here. So you can go to actions and create a sales invoice to the customer, okay? So append to sales invoice number. We don't want to append to a sales invoice number, so transferred, or you can create a sales invoice, okay? There was no planning line with quantity to transfer. Let's see. Okay, so let's open our job journal to see we already have these 2 lines created, right? And then we have to post this. So the first line is the quantity 2, the second line is quantity 6. Then we can just post this. And the job ledger entries will be created, okay? And so this is something different. It's not related to what we are posting. We just post it successfully for what we want to post here. Then after you post it, so we can go back and refresh. Okay, so we posted the jobs, and then but the invoice, we haven't created invoice for these 2 yet, right? So what we want to do, we have to create an invoice. So we can create a sales invoice for this one, then append to a sales invoice. Let's see, we already have this. This is the this is another location. We don't want to use this location. Now we want to use the blue location. Let's just put posting date today and create a new invoice. Transfer. So we want to job transfer to sales invoice, and we don't want to append to any existing invoice. We want to create a new invoice. There was no job planning line with a quantity to transfer. Yeah. So what we want to do is like we have to choose columns and quantity to transfer. Okay, quantity to invoice. And quantity to transfer to invoice, we have to make that column show up. Okay, then you have to create your journal and then to create a job ledger entries, and also you have to create your invoice. So let's just reopen this page in job planning lines, and then find this item again, filter to this item. Then you could see after we have these two columns show up, so it's quantity to transfer to invoice, and then quantity to this one we already transferred to the invoice, so that's why it does not ask us anymore. So this is the quantity to invoice, this is the quantity to transfer to invoice. Okay, then we have to invoice it. We have to create an invoice now, and you have to make sure those columns are showing up. You have those quantity filled in before you create a sales invoice. Then create a sales invoice. This is a new invoice. Put a posting date, and then there was no job planning line with a quantity to transfer. That's because I did that earlier. So let's do this. Let's do this one, and click on OK. So this one, the line will successfully transfer to an invoice, right? So this one, the reason it shows that error because I already invoiced it previously. And then we can just, after we have this invoice, we can post those invoices, right? So you can navigate from here, then go to your sales invoices, open your sales invoices. So we already have the invoice created. Then you can just click on here. So this is the invoice you created. Then you can, this is quantity 6 for that one. You can just post this, okay? And the other one, oh, that's the dimension. You don't need to worry about the dimension. There's some setup issue, but if you don't have the dimension issue, then you will be able to post this. And so for this one, that's just create this. We already have the invoice, but we just need to go to the invoice and post it. We may still have a dimension issue, but what you have to do, you can, this does not have a dimension, and then we can take a look at the lines to see if we have any dimensions. Okay, we don't have any dimension, and then we can just post this to see. Select dimension value code for the dimension code area for customer 40,000. This is what, oh, okay. So what we have to do is like, because the customer used on this invoice, so we have to go to this customer. We have to remove that dimension in order for us to, because for another demo, I did something for the dimension set entry. I delete the dimension set entry. That's why it's causing this issue. And then in order to avoid this issue, I have to remove that dimension. Then I have to refresh my invoice with another customer. So I have to refresh to another customer, then refresh back. Okay, so then we should be able to post this without issue. We can get rid of that issue. Okay, so now it should be posted. So this is posted. Okay, and for the other one, we have to do the same thing in order to post. This is posted sales invoice generated. For the other one, in order to post it, you see quantity to invoice is gone because it's invoice. You can see the invoice amount here. For this one, in order to get rid of that error, we still have to do the same thing. We have to refresh this header. I just removed the dimension from this customer, and so I have to refresh to another customer, then just change it back. Then it should be able to post. Then we are able to post it. Okay. Now you see I have both invoice is posted, and this is the invoiced amount. Okay, so this is how you manage if you are doing like land development or residential property development or commercial property development. You want to use Dynamics NAV or Business Central to manage your projects and control the cost with your budget. You can associate the purchase lines with your jobs. That's how you do it here. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. I hope to see you guys again next time.